In today's episode, I'm going to give you frameworks and pillars that you can utilize to become one of the most approachable brands in your industry or human beings if you're showing up as a personal creator online. And this leads on from the conversation I had last week where I admitted some of my own mistakes about being too vanilla and just sharing tips, tricks, and strategies all the time and not bringing in the vulnerable human side, which makes you less connecting and very predictable with what you put out there. So we have different pillars that you can draw on to make sure the content's never stagnant and pooling like a little pond and not flowing, then this conversation is going to be super helpful for you. And another tip that I want to kick off with, and this ties into a nice story that I'm going to tell, is if you find recording content on specific topics really challenging and confronting, staring down the camera, I suggest a freestyle model. We've been trialing this with several clients in our agency. If we get them on a Zoom, they share some stories, some gold nuggets, some tips and tricks, some observations. Because it's a conversational style, it's very relaxed and it pours out very nicely. You can use the repurposing strategies that we've talked about on the podcast, where you extract the gold and cut them into short form clips to create your social media content on your primary platform. So there's a really simple way, if you don't want to force content and you want to have fun with it, that might work really well for you. It's also what we're encouraging a lot of our personal brand clients to do, because we know if we just prompt them and let them talk about their genius, it all flows from there and we can extract it. So with this particular client, they're in the construction space. We jumped on Zoom. All these stories came pouring out. It's about how the business got started, how it evolved, challenges, things that went wrong, things they're observing in the industry at the moment. And there'd be 30 pieces of content in video format. If we had to try to film 30 individual pieces of content, it probably would have taken several days if we even got to that outcome. So into the frameworks, as a business strategy, having this high level of variety is going to work really well for building one of the most approachable brands in your lane, whether you're a local business or a multinational creator that services the whole entire world. The first form of content is a really easy one, and it falls into what I call the social proof category, and that's the before and after. Everyone loves seeing the journey or the transformation. How was it before they came across? So example, a bathroom renovation is a good case in point. What did it look like before the builder or the carpenter or the team came in? And then what was the finished product? So that's very easy, just showcasing where the starting point was and what the finish line looked like. Great for showing your capabilities as a brand or as a business. The second pillar, which I think is super important, is meet the team. And we have, with one of our agencies, a glazing company, and we got a photo shoot done and met all the faces and people behind the different roles in the business. And we start putting that out in their content circulation online. And it's drastically influenced the amount of engagement and interaction people are having with the company, because now it's gone from shots of all the projects and work that they're doing to, hey, oh, there's a face that's smiling that I recognize and I can put a name to it. And they start to look for those people and those happenings coming out from that brand now. So if you have people working in your organization, in the business, keep showing the faces, get them on short videos, even if it's 5 or 10 seconds. What do they do? How do they help people? Come in and say hi, even if it's photos. And if you're a personal brand, just keep showing more behind the scenes. Your team is your family, the people around you, your community, your environment. Introduce those people to keep the human connection high, because people want to connect with other people. So you need to bring the people behind the business and brand into the limelight, so to speak, so people can interact with them. The next pillar I'm going to talk about is localization. So depending on what type of business you run, it can be really helpful to post content around events, landmarks that are in the local area that everyone's going to recognize. Because if you're creating content and you're trying to appeal to the local community, the closer you are, the closer to home the audience feels, it just accelerates their trust and desire to want to interact with you, because there's that familiarization. So if you can introduce localization into your content, that's going to have a drastic impact with the local community as well. The next one is the educational, which I have beaten with a stick for the last 12 months, which is where you're adding value to your target audience, sharing tips and tricks that solve problems. So you're addressing an issue that most of your target clients generally struggle with, and you're educating them on how to solve that problem, or you're giving commentary on a trending topic or something that's taking shape in that space. This is really, really powerful. And this is where you can show how your knowledge and expert gap is much bigger than the competition. And if you're introducing this in with all the humanization, people are going to go, okay, this company or this brand or this person is an expert at their craft. They've helped me for free through consuming their content, which is why I'm a big advocate of personal brands doing some long form strategies like podcasting, for example, because you can deep dive and extract and share valuable information that can showcase your listeners and the people tuning in and watching how much you know. And if there's a monetization aspect to what you do, they're going to do pre-selection. They go, hey, I've already got a ton of value from this person. I don't have price sensitivity. I trust this brand. I know they're going to deliver because I've already got wins from their free stuff. And it's a no-brainer because there's a karmic debt. I feel like I want to give them money in exchange with them when they put out an offer to solve the problem that I have. It's really important to educate, add value, ultimately give away the farm if you can, so things that other people would charge for, and then people just come to you when they just want you to do it for them. The next pillar is your clients. We can sit there and beat our drum all day long, but when you've had a client start at a pain point, they're at point A, where that's going to be relatable to a lot of the audience that are stuck with the problem that you solve, and here they are now that they've been through the process, and here's the transformation and the result. When the client says it, that's even more powerful than you saying it yourself. So make sure anytime a client has a win, ask for their permission to share that story. Finally, we have offers. So this is where you inject a paid solution, or it could be a lead magnet that ultimately solves a big problem for your target market. And when you post offers, that's exactly what I'd address. What is the biggest problem that you solve and in what time frame? Looking to help 2 clients with XYZ problem get to XYZ outcome in the next 30 days. If you're in, say, a construction or building type industry, which we've leaned on, it might be, hey, we're looking to do 2 new bathroom renovations in the local community this month. Do you know anyone that would like a free consultation and quote if you've been following us along? Depending on what lane you're in, you might be just posting your lead magnet. In our agency, we have our systems that we give away that at the moment they're in Google Doc format, which literally takes people from A to B with screenshots. Here's how to do it. Here's the tools. Here's the resources if you want to do it yourself. So every now and again, we'll say, hey, if you want our 30 days in 90 minutes content creation system for personal brands, just put a Y in the comments below and we'll shoot it over to your inbox. Inside that doc, if they want to book a free Zoom and get some support, build a customized plan, they can do that, which is ultimately where they can have a conversation about whether they want to continue doing it themselves or engage us to do it. So that's how our offers work. We keep giving away free value. We might go more direct once in a while, but there's how you balance it out and introduce the offers. So you're also monetizing. If you want to put it on steroids, you can circulate. So you can boost those posts and get them out to a wider audience. You can JV or partner with other creators and other people in your space to also share it across their network or send it out. So there's really simple ways that you can get leverage with your content. You can also ask for engagement, which is really important. The more you can ask for comments and interaction, the more traction a post or video is going to get on the social media newsfeed. And you'll see if you go over to my content on social media, I'm doing a lot more of that now. I'm asking for a question at the end of select content and wanting people to interact with it in the comments. And you can do that to leverage and get more traction. So there's just a few ideas to start containerizing and putting structure and framework around your content so you become the most attractive brand, audience, or person to follow in your industry, where people have the most fun each time you put something out. It's exciting, there's variety, not the same vanilla stuff like I was doing where it's just always a tip, trick, or strategy. So hopefully that gives you some things to work with. You got your before and after, meet the team, your localization, your educational, your clients, offers. There are many more you could add in, of course, but they're just for simplicity. So that's it. We have a free Facebook group now that's building up where you can work behind the scenes a little bit absolutely free, where I'm sharing daily ideas, live strategies, documents, everything you need. It's specifically designed for people that want to put themselves out there as a personal brand, as a creator, and go down that path. So there's a link in the show notes if you want to jump into that Facebook group. I'd love to have you in there.